Again, Professor, welcome to Daily Trust.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm tempted to actually go to Kaduna briefly before we go to the issue of insecurity in Zamfara and Northwest, because there is actually a relationship between politics, insecurity, economy, and all that.
Absolutely.
It was tensed in Kaduna between yesterday and today. And it's like, was there judgment? Let me ask you, from what happened at the tribunal. First, they did it via Zoom. And there is like there is dissenting voice or something like that.
Right. I don't know what the judgment is, and I'll be talking out of. I just came into the studio, so I don't know if they announced the judgment.
Well, what they said is that two of the judges said there will be a run in about 4 local government areas. You know, they announced this by Zoom, but the lead judge dismissed PDP and Ashiru's petition. He dismissed it completely, that there was no case.
Right.
But the other two said no, there should be a run in order to determine who won the election between Governor Obasani and Ashiru.
Yeah. So my big concern is our democracy is being determined by the courts.
Okay, that is your concern.
Big concern. Big. And it shouldn't be. If INEC had done the right thing, people would not be running to court. End of story. Everybody running to court, it means they have issues with the umpire. I mean, judges have better things to do than to litigate elections issues. Honest. And this Zoom...
We had one in Kano.
Yeah, we had one in Kano, and we are Zooming everywhere. I'm worried about this, and I'm not happy. Let's talk what brought me to the studio today.
What brought you is insecurity, but obviously, I want... INEC is not here to exonerate itself. You think the judges are innocent?
No, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I'm tempted because you're also a politician and you're all right.
I honestly don't know what is presented to them and what made them reach that decision, and I've not read the decisions. And but my big concern is that we are having to go to court to litigate elections that should be litigated by people at the polling unit. This is a big concern. And it's the person that has the most money that wins. We've seen it. And unfortunately, too, I'm one that is terribly disappointed with the legal system. I really am. Let's go to what brought me to...
I'm still insisting because I know you have a lot to say on this. Yeah, if we can't get it right in the political scene, are we going to get it right security-wise, economic-wise, and others?
It's bad politics that determines everything. Mm-hmm. The bad politics that affects the economy, bad politics that affect security, bad politics that affect cost of living of our people, bad politics that affect inter-faith relationship. It's all our politics. Our politics over the last 24 years has not served us right. And it's not the democracy itself, but the practitioners of democracy. Our politicians have not been good custodians of that which they've been entrusted with. End of story.
And we have got into a situation, Prof, where judges, for fear of their lives, delivering judgment from God knows where.
From Ukraine, maybe, zooming. I mean, it's a big concern. And I hope we're going to do better next time.
Okay, amen. Now, this mass abduction in Federal University Gusau and environs. Could that be Tinubu's Chibok abduction of sort?
Yes, this is Tinubu's Chibok, and I'm glad you put it that way. This is the first mass abduction after the lull we've had. The last one was the Benin Yauri in July, 2 years ago. So there has been a lull of about over a year. And now all of a sudden we're having this mass abduction. It is very depressing, very disheartening for anyone who is a parent, anyone who is a human being. We send our children to school to learn. And it is the duty and responsibility of government to protect us all, especially our children. And I've told people in government, leaders have forfeited the right to make excuses.
They have forfeited that right because they sought for power and they got it.
Absolutely. That's why you're there. So don't give us any excuses. Why are we having This incident again, 9.5 years after Chibok.
Yes. So that would have been the next question I wanted to ask.
So the government and the security agencies have learned nothing.
How do you mean?
No, look, we haven't learned anything. In 2014, there is this Safe School initiative. After Buniyadi and after Chibok, where government...
We also have a DEFCI.
Absolutely. Where government brought out policies to protect our children, especially in conflict areas. Children are meant to go to school to learn. Parents are meant to feel safe like our parents did when they sent us to school. But governments are not taking care of these children in this school, this university. And this is the first abduction from a university. A federal university.
You're taking it to a higher layer.
Yeah, no, a federal university at that. All the previous abductions were secondary school or the Islamia school in Tegina. This is the first in a university, a federal university at that. A university in the home of the Minister of State Defense. That should mean something. In this university, there is no perimeter fence. None. Daily Trust reported that. No perimeter fencing. No security. When your reporter went to that university, there was only one policeman at the gate of admin, and there is another civil defense at the reception. And there are no hostels for students. So students get their hostels from the community.
In the first place, meaning we have to even interrogate the integrity of the university.
I mean
whether it is truly a university or a glorified secondary school.
Most of them are like that. But this is an open thing. Anybody can go and do what they did.
And the hostel is actually maybe built by private investors.
No, they are private individuals in the community provide accommodations for this students. There was a student that said there are about 100 of them in these 3 hostels.
Yes.
There was not a single policeman. Not a single civil defense.
It was Daily Trust who actually brought that story out, and I wanted to ask you, Prof,
I saw that. I read
because
that.
You see what is happening with the media also. Until we sent our reporter who was able to brought out some of the salient issues, that it was not even the first abduction. They picked some...
This is the third.
Exactly.
The first abduction, they took 3. The second abduction, they took 5. This is the third abduction. So what did the government of Zamfara State do?
That they are being abducted like chickens.
No. So the government of Zamfara State, if the security is their responsibility, what did they do after these abductions? In a hostel of 100 students, there was not a policeman, there was not a civil defense, there was not a military man there. There were only two local guards. For goodness sake. And anybody, you go and see the convoy of a governor. You go and see the convoy of a governor. Policemen all over with guns, and you cannot protect our children. So government has been irresponsible, government has been complacent, both the federal and the state government, in protecting our children.
Federal and the state government.
Absolutely.
The Minister of State for Defense is the immediate past governor of Zamfara State. This state has been taken over by PDP. Is there a relationship between what is happening and the politics between these 2 key individuals?
No, are you saying is the politics between them responsible for this? No, I will tell you. Okay. Zamfara State, it's near and dear to me because that's where I spent my formative years. That's where I went to secondary school.
Zamfara?
Absolutely. Gusau, GSS Gusau.
You're from Katsina?
Absolutely. So the Zamfara of that time is not the Zamfara of today.
What went wrong?
What went wrong is bad politics. Zamfara has never been lucky. It's bad politics, people fighting among themselves.
Up till this moment?
Up to tomorrow.
Okay, is there, because...
Okay, let's talk about this. Of all the states in the north, why do we have this problem in Zamfara? Zamfara is the nidus, is the root of all this banditry, and it has literally infected the whole of the north. About 70% of bandits in this country they have their address in Zamfara. The first mass school abductions in the northwest.
It is like a virus.
In Kankara, In Kankara,